This episode is brought to you by the Ultimate Girls Trip. Here is our reoccurring daydream. Us at a drool-worthy pool, surrounded by our business besties. We just finished a powerful exercise on building our dream lives and executing our business goals. Join us if you are ready to be celebrated for taking up space, to feel purposeful, and to live a life of fulfillment. Go to proofitspossible.com for more info. Welcome to Proof It's Possible. Jamie and I are multifaceted entrepreneurs, the founders of the Ultimate Girls Trip, and the hosts of Proof It's Possible. Jamie and I are also sisters, best friends, and complete opposites, but somehow we always manage to stay on the same team. Join us every week to hear our thoughts on all things entrepreneurship, friendship, family, pulp culture, and more.
Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're chatting all about
Oh, you guys, so this is the behind the scenes and we're not even cutting it out because Jamie just started us off in the most awkward, hilarious thing that we had a laughter fit. So anyway, we're here today.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. For real this time.
For real.
For real. We're going to get to the point.
Let's get back to the point. Today we're chatting all about sales, my least favorite topic. I don't feel confident in sales, so like it's not my area of expertise. So,
and unfortunately, marketing and selling, if you are an entrepreneur, is your business. If you don't have sales, you don't actually have a business.
100%.
You have to get people to buy something from you, whether that's a product, whether that's a service. So, although it does not come naturally to most people, it's a non-negotiable. And there are lots of ways to sell. So the fun thing that I saw like a meme basically that was said something to the effect of like, selling your wares or your like product or service as an adult is exactly the same as selling a box of chocolate almonds for your team fundraiser when you're a kid. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I got so many messages when I posted it, just as kind of like a funny little thing, that I was like, but people were writing me interesting things. So people were like, oh, the thing is I cheated. And I'm like, how so? Like, what do you mean you cheated?
She got her mom to buy all the chocolate almonds.
So this is what she thought was a cheat. And she's like, I took my box and my mom put it on her like desk at work with a little note from me. And I was like, wait a minute, girl. That's not cheating. That's finding a market that people will buy. I'm like,
those office workers. Those office workers are itching for some chocolate almonds.
It's that after lunch market that you're like, hey, where are people looking for a treat that is close to?
Where are they jonesing for their next sugar hit?
Exactly. So you can do the hard version, which is knock door to door at night after school with your whole team while the rest of your team's already knocked on those doors. Or you can find this one little office that you're going to sell your 100 boxes of chocolate almonds so fast.
So this is reminding me, we did like a raffle for one of my kids' sports teams, and every child on the team had to sell 10 tickets.
Okay.
And some people were having a really hard time getting their 10 tickets sold.
Yes.
My daughter, she literally passed the task off to grandma, and grandma posted on her social media.
Yes.
And she sold 100 tickets in half an hour because she has a market with a soft spot for kids selling stuff.
Totally. And she upped her game. She didn't just totally pass it to grandma. She did her social media video.
Right.
Explaining what the money would go towards and, all the things. So she did her pitch, which is what we all need, is like, why do you want this? Or why would you support this? Or, and she borrowed someone else's audience.
And like, isn't that what everybody is?
That's why you be a podcast guest. Like the whole thing behind being a podcast guest is because we've built an audience and our guests get the opportunity to
present themselves and whatever they're saying.
And if we go on someone else's podcast, we are presenting ourselves to somebody else's audience. I used to do something called Woman Wednesday, and I loved Woman Wednesday, and I should have never stopped, and I might go back to it. But
Yeah. Why
basically,
did you stop?
pardon?
Why did you stop?
I don't know. I have no idea actually. But basically every Wednesday I would highlight a woman that I thought was amazing. Like just I liked her products, whatever. Like for whatever reasons, I thought she was a great mom. She didn't even have to be an entrepreneur. I just liked her as a person. Um, and what was amazing about Woman Wednesdays is it got more engagement than anything else I put online. Didn't matter if it was I could put up the most beautiful house that I designed. I could put up a cool website that I designed. But Woman Wednesday had my audience, and then it had the person I highlighted's audience. Because our people love us. And if we are highlighted in a special way by somebody, people are like, this is so cool. I'm going to share it. Your mom's going to share it. Your aunt's going to share it. People will comment. Your best friends are going to be
Yeah.
proud of you, you know? So I borrowed other people's audiences and got engagement. I didn't know it at the time that that's what would happen. I just thought this would be like a nice positive way to like
Look
cheer
at
other
you, a
women
social
on.
media maven, and you didn't even know it.
Exactly. So anyways, so these are the things that, and like my chocolate almond selling story was for, I believe it was for my grad. And I like, truthfully at the time, I hadn't even been at school for several months because I was in a hospital in Edmonton trying to like do a rehabilitation after my surgery and from being in a wheelchair. So I was like all turned around in life. And I got like these 5 boxes of chocolate almonds that I had to sell, and I had to do it within like 2 weeks once I got home before grad. And my mom's like, just bring them to, or our mom. Sorry, we have the same mom. Uh, we are
That
true
old trick
blood,
again.
true blood sisters. But for some reason, every time I talk about our parents, I'm like, so my mom and dad,
It's the
you
strangest.
wouldn't know them, but
It's the
anyway, they raised
strangest.
me so nice.
And then she's
They're
confused when
wonderful.
people question who our parents are.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, so Jamie has different mom and dad. They just, or a different dad or a different mom, but they just, you know, call each other
Adoptively.
sisters. Anyway, so I feel like this whole episode, we're just messing
We're a
around
little
today.
chaotic. It's, you know,
Yeah, it's
we're back.
fun.
Guys, we're back. Okay,
Welcome to
anyways,
our coffee chat today. Welcome to our coffee chat
how did
today.
you sell the box of almonds? You don't keep
Or
us
the box.
hanging here.
Oh, right. I have ADHD, I think. It's undiagnosed. I don't know. Anyway, so my mom's like, bring them to, similar to the office situation. I brought them to my dad's hockey tournament and I put them on a table in the lobby and like I sat there with my stuff. And I mean, the wheelchair was not a bad selling tool, I will say, because people are like, oh, when did she get a wheelchair? This is terrible. And I'm like, yeah, I know. You should just buy the whole box because
But
I got to get out of
also,
here.
you cornered a market there. Men are
Corner the
way
market.
more
Oh,
loose
men
with
were
their
buying.
wallets than
Yes,
women, I feel
I
like.
agree. Well, and men they were buying 5 and 10 boxes because they're like, oh, this will be great. I'll take these home. My wife will put these in my kids' lunches because they didn't even know that you couldn't have nuts at school yet. Like they were like just thinking they were doing a wonderful thing. Plus, they were probably planning on crushing 2 boxes, one there, one on the ride home, and then they
Totally.
want to share with their kids or whatever. So
Yeah.
where I thought it would be impossible to sell these 100 boxes, it wasn't an hour. Like I bet you I had them gone in an hour. And it's funny because when we're selling something for a charity or when we're selling something that we don't have all this pent up fear and yeah, but
An
stories,
emotional attachment
an
to.
emotional attachment to the
Mm-hmm.
outcome of it, we're just literally getting the
Mm-hmm.
task done. What do? We're like, okay, who would buy this? Let's get it in front of them. Done. And
Mm-hmm.
you get it in front of them. Like you find a way to get it in front of them. And
And if you
that's the
don't
whole
sell
thing.
your 10 boxes of chocolates or your 10 raffle tickets or your 100 boxes of chocolates, you don't think to yourself, I'm the biggest loser that's ever
No,
lived. I
no, you're
should
like, you go
probably
to the, yeah,
close up shop and never offer anyone another box of chocolates as long as I live.
exactly. And as a kid, you don't even have the money, but your parents are probably just going to buy the boxes if you don't buy them. But as an adult, you've already paid for the product or the service. You've already put the sweat equity into building the course. So if nobody buys it, it you already spent the money anyway. So don't be too hard on yourself about it because
Mm-hmm.
you're only out what you're out and keep looking for audiences to sell it to. That is the whole story. Like
Mm-hmm.
imagine
Isn't
you
it
look at
so
it.
interesting though? Like we have such an emotional connection when we're
Yes.
selling something that is ours. Like
Yes. Oh.
we're
totally.
selling something we've created, whether that's like a physical product or it's a service that we're selling or it's experience that we're selling. We have put so much of our self-worth on that thing that if
Exactly.
it doesn't sell, somehow it means that we're no longer worthy. We're no longer good. We're no longer wanted. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
such a crazy, but if you
It
think
is.
about the box of almonds, you never think, like if someone was like, oh, I have a nut allergy, I can't have those. Thanks for the offer. You
Totally.
wouldn't be like, you
Yep.
know what?
I'm a piece of garbage.
I'm a piece of garbage. I give
Yep.
up. I'm just going to throw the rest of these boxes of chocolates in the garbage because nobody wants them. That girl's allergic.
Yeah.
Like, it's such
And
a
now I know this isn't a saleable product. I might as well just quit. I'm going to quit forever.
exactly like
Well,
every product is not for every person.
that or another common mistake is people have something and they assume because they put it on social media once, they've told
Mhm.
everyone that what they're doing, so people better just rush to it and buy it. But guess
Mhm.
what? Not everyone sees everything you talk about. So I've had people, and we're a year in, be like, "You have your own podcast?" And I'm like, "Okay, how is it possible that you missed, like, you don't have to listen to the podcast, but you had to have seen that I have a podcast." But the thing is, people are like, "Oh, I thought you were on someone else's podcast. I thought you were just making social media posts with your sister about your Ultimate Girls Trip." Or they don't know anything about Ultimate Girls Trip because they missed those posts altogether.
Mhm.
So they just
Yeah.
didn't catch that. People are not seeing everything that you're doing. So imagine you offered the box of chocolates to just one single person and one time. And then they said, no, sorry, I don't want it. And they had their reason for it, whether it's a nut allergy, whether it's that they're trying not to eat sugar, whether it's they don't like chocolate, like just whatever, it's not their thing.
Mhm.
And you decide the whole business venture is a garbage dumpster and you got to throw it in the garbage because they didn't want it. Therefore, no one else will either. And
Mhm.
it's like, isn't this, but it's what we do. It's what we do. And I just had this conversation with somebody that put one post up about their physical product they were trying to sell. And I'm like, well, where's the 4 more per day since you launched it? Because that's how many you're behind. It's You don't get to put one post up and be like, see, it's there now and you got to buy it. Or tell
And the
yourself
other
a
thing
story.
is that like maybe the post, maybe she only has 100 followers, and 100 followers are not her ideal audience.
Exactly. That's
Like
exactly
you
what it
have
is.
to be able to be willing to leave the nut allergy room and go
Mhm.
into the tournament room or your mom's
Yes,
office where there is a bunch of buyers.
exactly.
And the same goes for like social media. If your 100 people that follow you aren't your ideal client, you need to
Where can
borrow
you find them?
audiences from other people. You need to get on
Exactly.
socials. You need to do lives. You need to go on podcasts. You need to get it out into the
Yeah,
world in other ways.
exactly. Exactly. And engage with people that are maybe doing what you're doing or follow people that are doing what you're doing and start following those people. Like there's lots of things. And I always say this about social media that although it's almost every business's biggest hurdle, because everyone's like, I can't keep up with it. I have to do everything for my business. And I hiring a social media person's hard because I just have to guide them in what
I
to
still have to
post
do all the
anyway.
videos. Yeah.
I'm still doing it anyway. And it's like the one thing we forget is like Mila's trick where she went and gave it to grandma, made her video, grandma posts on her social media because she doesn't have social media yet. Um, that is a free place to post. Back in our selling days, we had to get out in the world and find our communities in the
Mm-hmm.
real face-to-face world. Grandma
Yeah.
had those things sold before Mila hit the pillow that night. It was over. Like
Wait
they
list.
if there was a wait list, if we could get another booklet of raffle tickets, we would do that. So it's amazing how the stories we tell ourselves, and like another interesting story that the gal that I was talking with about her physical product is she felt like her physical product had a window of time that it would be interesting to people because it is a product that is for the school year. So she thought if people didn't buy kind of at the beginning of September, it would have no value to them. And to me, I'm like, well, no, that's not true. There'll be people who are just coming around to being like, I have no organization, you know, in October. And they'll be like, I need something to get me sorted here. And this thing would help you get sorted because it's an online or it's a organizer.
You know how
Everybody
many
needs a great
times
organizer.
You know how many times I have gone to go buy, like, I don't do well in the winters. I'm a summer girl. I've said that before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a bit of a hibernation phase for the first 3 months of the year, January, February, March. And then when spring comes, I just like inherently start to come alive again. It's just who I am and how I do it. And in March, April-ish, I'm always looking to like get my life back on track. Like I'm like, you know what I need?
Same.
I need an organizer. Do you think anyone sells organizers
No.
in April? They do not. They think that you either sell them in January or they're garbage. But
Well,
I
that
am
or exactly. So this product is for teachers and students. So it's from September to June, and which is awesome. Like it's such a good product. And if you guys want it, I'll hit
Yeah,
me up
you
and
should
I'll give
throw
you
a
the
link
link.
on your socials
Yeah,
for it.
for sure. But there's still going to be people that are going to be like, it'll be December and they'll be like, you know what I need is to get organized. I've literally lost track of the first part of the year and I'm not doing
100%.
things right. And this isn't going where I need it to go. And they're still going to buy. Or maybe like look at the Christmas season as a new opportunity to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Like time, you can say that the time doesn't matter, but there's somebody selling everything, services, products, houses. Like the lie that like nobody will buy a house in December because nobody wants to move in the winter or around Christmas. Maybe lots of people don't, but there's somebody that just got transferred for work and has to buy a house.
Uh-huh.
So it's not necessarily true. It's a story. And we can believe our stories or we can persevere and
So I
sell the
think the
product no matter
challenge
what.
to everyone that's listening, if you're selling a product, service, whatever it is,
Yeah.
how can you emotionally detach from the product that
Yes.
you're selling and get yourself in front of more people?
Yes. And
And,
get clear on what that looks like for you. Who is your ideal client and
and
where
every
are
time
their
you,
buyers?
yeah, and every time you hear no, how can you emotionally detach from that no and say, like, this doesn't mean I'm bad. This doesn't mean my product's bad. This doesn't mean my service is bad. This means that person wasn't interested in buying it. I need to find the people that are.
Exactly. And this person wasn't interested in buying it this time, right now. That does not mean that they
They're
won't
never
buy in the
interested.
future.
Yeah.
You know? So I agree. That's kind of your homework slash challenge. I think this week is have a look at your emotions attached to selling your product. How does those feel? Journal about it. Think about it. And where
Send
are
us a
you missing
DM.
opportunities?
Yeah, send us a DM because I love hearing stuff like this. I love the
Me
psychology
too.
behind it.
Me too. Have a great week. We are so grateful you're here.
It would mean the world to us if you'll subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel and leave us a review.
If you want to hear more from us, go to proofitspossible.com to join our mailing list and find our social links so you don't miss a thing.
Thanks and chat next time.